Hello, everyone. This is Jackson M. Doggette Jr., the solutions expert, who is coming to you today with a special guest, Charles Williams, who is the media director for the Allegheny East Conference Corporation of Seventh-day Adventists, which covers 6 states and the District of Columbia for approximately 140 churches, somewhere around 35,000 members. So the reason we have him here today is to help those churches that are unable to meet together because of the COVID-19 virus that's going around. And we want to help the churches and pastors who don't have a solution for continuing their ministry digitally. So I've invited Charles to come and to help us with that topic. Charles, what do you have to say to us today?
Well, thank you, Elder Doggett, for the opportunity to address our pastors. I have a few simple solutions that I'd like to share with the group. And so what I'm going to do is share my screen. If I can, just a second. And I'll get my slide. The first solution I wanted to share with you was YouTube. And I know most people today know about YouTube and know the uses of it. A lot of people use it for entertainment, and many churches and many individuals, of course, use it for live streaming as well. It is free, so that if you're not familiar with YouTube as a user, you can get a free YouTube account by just signing up with Google, getting a Gmail email account. That would be your logon credentials to get a YouTube channel. Now, this can be done very easily right on a browser. If you're using an Android device or iOS device, meaning a Mac computer or an iPad or iPhone. It will also be compatible with Microsoft PCs and Android tablets. So it's cross-platform, and that makes it very easy for you to get started without having to do any heavy investment in equipment. So even if you only have a modern smartphone, you would actually be able to stream to your audience, possibly your church or maybe a special prayer group, a live stream from your phone, as well as from your computer, maybe a laptop or a desktop. So the first thing to do with that, of course, if you don't already have a Gmail account, or if your church doesn't have a Gmail account, is to get one in the church's name or your name, and log on, go to YouTube, and you would log on to YouTube. You would log into your account. They would ask you for your password and your username, which would be your Gmail account. And once you get on there, you'll see the various features. Another unique aspect of YouTube is that once you activate your YouTube channel, which is you'll find in the menu once you open up your account, you will also want to download an application called YouTube Studio. That will allow you to manage your channel in terms of preparing live streams, looking at analytics, and even allowing yourself to do a little bit of editing and adding information to the description section. Now, those of you that are accustomed to using YouTube, you'll notice that most YouTubers will leave information in what is called the description section. And in that section, you can put links to your church's website. You can put links to perhaps documents or prayer request channels, any additional information pertaining to your live stream. Because once you live stream, you do have the option of having your video play back almost instantly. So investigate YouTube. It is a great source. It is free. You don't have to have a lot of sophisticated equipment, and you could be online very shortly. So consider that And if you have any problems or any questions with YouTube, if you go to YouTube and type in the search engine, YouTube live stream tutorial, and there are quite a few videos there that have been posted by individuals to show you step by step how to set up your YouTube channel. And don't be afraid to do that if you only have a smartphone. I have seen some excellent live streams and excellent videos done on modern smartphones. So please consider that.
Charles, let me ask you.
Yes.
Do they need to go to their church to do this live stream, or can they do it from their home?
They can do it right from their home. You can do it from anywhere that you have a good data connection. That's one of the other things that's very important. If you're using a smartphone, then most likely you're going to be using either your home Wi-Fi, if you have that, not your cell phone data, because that could be expensive if you have a long, live stream. So if you're home, by all means, use your home Wi-Fi, or wherever you are, if you have access to a secure Wi-Fi connection. But no, you don't have to be at the church. You can be at home. You can be in your study or den or some other appropriate place that would give you a nice background, and you would be able to live stream from there.
Do they need any other equipment like lights or anything like that?
Yeah, it would be preferred that you would have some lighting or even a secondary camera. All of those things can be purchased, of course. Retailers like Amazon or B&H in New York. You can order a high definition webcam with good audio, or go as far as a camcorder. There are some that buy these small camcorders that will record in high definition. But yes, you can be as simple as your cell phone or your iPad or Android device, or expand to more equipment. And that's when you start to having a much more sophisticated setup. But most tablets and cell phones will stream in high definition, which is 1080. It's called 1080p or 720p. So you can't go wrong if you want to get started right away by just using your cell phone. And one important thing is, if you do use your cell phone, it needs to be on a stable, maybe a stand or a tripod that they make for cell phones, so that you can frame it up and have a nice picture and nice sound.
Okay, so they don't have to spend a lot of money and they can have a good looking production.
Absolutely. You'll be surprised the quality of if you start out, you can start out with a cell phone. You'll see that it's very adequate. And then as your channel grows, you can, invest in more equipment. But really, I've seen a lot of very successful YouTubers. They will stream or they will record their program strictly with their cell phone.
Great. All right. Do you have anything else for us?
Yes. The next idea I wanted to share with you is, let's see if we can get this to go, is GroupMe. Now, this is a social network, a texting social network that you can create yourself, and you can also get this free of charge. If you will go to groupme.com, you could get a free account in which you would set up your account, and then you can start creating groups. And what this means is that if you have, say, an elders group, or if you have a music group or a prayer group, you can set up groups to communicate with you and with themselves on a particular GroupMe group of individuals. And it can be as many as you need it to be. Many churches have multiple GroupMe accounts so that the pastor can communicate with various groups, the elders board, so forth and so on, to keep the management of the church going. The other nice thing about GroupMe as a messaging service, you can add links to documents or to videos or to other media within the GroupMe platform. Now, once you sign up for GroupMe, the only way you can get people into a group is to invite them. You can invite them through their telephone number or their email address. So if you have that information about groups in your church, you can set up various groups to communicate with them 24/7.
Could the person set up their entire membership on a GroupMe account?
I believe you can. I don't know that there are any real limits to how many people you can put on. I've seen some groups of 100 or more. It's, you know, it gets to be a pretty good job to put in all that data. And of course, once you invite an individual, they will not be a part of your group until they acknowledge the invitation, and then they're automatically added to your group. But I do not believe that there is a limit.
So a church could have, let's say a pastor had all of his members in a GroupMe account, but they can be broken down further into other groups.
Absolutely.
Okay, so he can communicate with only certain people sometimes and everybody at other times.
Correct. And if he decides to, he or she decides to type a message to an individual in the group and only want that individual of the group to get the message, you have the option of making it a private message to that person and not to the group. Because a lot of times people are afraid that, well, if I put this out to John, then everybody else is going to see John's business. That is not the case. With GroupMe, you can send an individual one-on-one message within the group without the rest of the group seeing.
So that would be a possible communication tool to let them know that services are continuing. Excuse me, what time services would be when they're live streaming or whether they can see the recording later. This is a communication tool to help everybody know what's going on. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And if you create a playlist, and you'll learn that when you go through your YouTube tutorial, if you create a playlist for the various content that you generate, you can send those playlist links through GroupMe. You can say, hey, I did 3 devotions for this week. Here are the YouTube links for those devotions. And they can click on, you can send that in GroupMe as an attachment. And they can click on the link and go to wherever you have directed them. So it's a very useful tool. And the other nice thing about GroupMe, unlike Facebook or some other social networks, you don't have the problem of people, maybe a person that you're, not too keen about being a part of a group, just coming in as a social network, inquisitor, where they want to see what's going on. They can only be a part of your group if you invite them, and they have to be approved. So in a way, there's a certain, almost like a firewall set up in terms of how many people can join a group and who they are.
That's great. That's a great suggestion. Do you have another one for us?
Yeah, just one more, and it is very, very popular amongst the internet, and that is Facebook, of course.
Okay.
Some pastors have Facebook accounts, their personal Facebook accounts, but it would be good if you don't already have a Facebook account for your church, is to open up a nonprofit business version of Facebook. And then you can invite members, you can invite community, you can invite, friends of friends to the church's Facebook account. Facebook also has a live stream component, so you can stream on Facebook as well once you set up an account. So you have a lot of options there as well. Facebook, it takes a little bit of management. Sometimes it can get a little unwieldy. But one of the nice things about Facebook is that once they see your live stream, whether it's you at home or maybe you're going to live stream a previous recording, whatever, you will get immediate response. People will respond to you saying they like it and this is great and so forth and so on. That's one of the beauties of Facebook. But again, you would go to YouTube. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube. You would go to YouTube, type in the search engine, Facebook live stream tutorial, and there are many videos there that'll step you through how to do that, how to set up your account, and how to do live streaming. I forgot to mention one other plus with YouTube as well. You do have live chat available in YouTube when you live stream. So people that are watching can comment on what you're saying. You could see that there are people watching, and also see how many people are viewing it at the same time. So it does have that feature too, so you can have two-way communication.
Well, that's great. If a person really is not that tech savvy and they just want to focus on one live streaming option, which would you prefer, Facebook or YouTube?
I would prefer Facebook because of the, it's streamlined, it's easy to do and easy to manage. If your video, sometimes churches that use YouTube as a streaming portal, you do have the option of changing your videos from public to private. If there are problems with the video, if there are some issues, you can manage it. Also, YouTube, as a caution, YouTube does monitor content, and if anything of any content that is copywritten and does not fall under what is called fair use, you could get flagged for that. So that's an important thing. You'll learn that in the YouTube tutorial. YouTube or Google has a number of tutorials on YouTube about YouTube in terms of how to manage it, copyright issues, that sort of thing. If you're just doing a sermon and you're giving Bible text or references like that, generally that is not a problem. It becomes a problem if you play some video that's copywritten or produced by someone else and it doesn't coincide with what you're doing. There is a possibility that there could be a copyright infringement. So sometimes people misunderstand the fact that because you're a nonprofit organization and 501c3, you figure that, oh, well, I can use anybody's content because I'm not selling it, and we're just a church, that sort of thing. Well, that logic doesn't pan out with YouTube and its lawyers. So you have to be careful in terms of using other material. So, but getting back to your question, I would say YouTube because it's cross-platform, easy to set up. You can do it with a cell phone or a desktop computer or even a studio camera if you go to that level of sophistication.
Okay, so you're saying YouTube is your choice?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great.
That doesn't mean Facebook is not a good portal, because it is. Many people live stream on YouTube. In fact, the church, the General Conference of the North American Division, even the Alleghenies Conference, when we do event coverage or camp meeting, we now have the capability of simulcasting actually on multiple streams, and we will cast on YouTube, and we will also cast on Facebook. The other nice thing about the partnership between them, when you're talking about distributing your content, if you post that you're going to do a live stream, say a Sabbath service or a Wednesday night prayer meeting, you can post that link, that live link on Facebook. One of your members could do that. And you could be streaming on Facebook without having to go to Facebook properly. So you can actually have two streams going at one time by sharing your live stream link on Facebook.
That's very interesting. Well, I guess if someone wants to do that, they can contact you. Is there a way to contact you if someone has a question?
Absolutely. My email address is cwilliams, C as in cat, Williams aecsda.com. You can also go to our website at visitaec.com or .org. Either one will get you to the conference website, and click on communications. You will find my information on the communication page, and you will also find some additional tutorial videos there that would help you understand copyright and so forth and so on. I may have 1 or 2 short videos on there for YouTube streaming. So you can reach me, though, through that email address, and all of my information is on the website, and I'll be happy to help you out, walk you through, give you some more resources so you can get going.
Well, Charles, we really appreciate you taking your time today to help churches and pastors to be able to continue their ministry when we're in this lockdown situation. Perhaps we'll come back and have another interview with you to talk about how to receive tithes and offerings online. But until then, I would just say to anybody, just Google tithes and offerings or giving online, and there are a lot of solutions there for that as well. So
Absolutely.
This will wrap us up for today, but I really thank you, Charles, for being with us.
Sure.
If anyone has questions, you heard Charles Williams' contact information. You'll see my information in the description if you have anything that you'd like to ask of me. And we'll see you next time on another video. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell so you will know when new videos are available.